Circling back to talking about why I choose education, I think it's important for myself too to be a good reflection of my students. I never had any teachers that looked like me growing up, so I definitely am in it for the representation. I want to be somebody that my kids can be like, hey, I remember having a Hispanic teacher growing up, and hopefully that can influence them in life and influence their career choices too, thinking that I can be like Miss G because I've had a Miss G in my life. So 100% things that I always work on a lot with our kids is advocacy.
Welcome back to Beach Park District 3 Teacher Spotlight Beyond the Bell podcast, where we connect with the incredible people in our district. I am absolutely 100% totally delighted to welcome our guest for today. While I always enjoy introducing our guests, I found that I appreciate the suspense as the audience kind of waits to hear who it's going to be. So without further ado, I am going to leave it up to our guest. She will be introducing herself. Have at it.
Okay. I am Stephanie Guadarrama. I am an EL para here at Kenneth Murphy, and I've been at KM for, I think this is year number 7. Lucky year number 7.
7 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stephanie, you're so courageous to spend this time with me. You are the second guest on Beyond the Bell podcast. I had to reach out to some people to say, please be courageous enough and come to spend time with me. So thank you for taking the time that you have today to be with us on Beyond the Bell. I'm excited to learn more about you, the work that you do, your journey. Of course, a little bit about who you are outside of work, what you do when you're not at the district. With full admiration, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. I definitely had to jump on this opportunity just because it totally is up my alley. I love this kind of stuff, and I'm 100% an advocate for it. So keep doing it. I'm so excited to see how it kind of transpires at the end.
Sweet. Thank you for that. So you introduced yourself. You shared with us where you're at, how long you've been with us. You've been in Beach Park. Is there anything outside of your current position, any roles that you serve in Beach Park that were not in that intro?
I am also one of the co-presidents for the TA union as well.
All right. How long have you been doing that?
So this is my second year now. I'm going into year number 2 doing that. So a lot of heavy work. I love to be in this like leadership position. I feel like it definitely is in my personality. So I honestly, it's a lot of work, but it definitely is something that I think is helping me grow a lot too, professionally and personally, honestly.
I'm super, super proud of you and the work that you're doing. I'm the director of human resource, so we've had the unique opportunities to spend time together and work collaboratively in the district. And I think that what I've found as I work with other peers throughout other districts in HR, the relationships with union personnel are all very different. It's just been such a delight to work with you and your union and the work that we collaboratively get to do together. It seems almost like an anomaly. I hear stories about how unions and districts get along, but I don't have that vibe, and you guys are. You also do it with Christy Steiden, your co-president, and together you're amazing. So it's courageous work, and you get to meet a lot of people. I mean, you are the advocate for so many staff in our district that you are cut out for it. I do know that. We met a while back in kind of a strange turn of events, and do you want to kind of? My question is going to be hearing about kind of you and your background. Like, where'd you grow up? Are you from the neighborhood? Where'd you end up going to school? And like many people who are in education, are you currently going to school for anything right now?
So it all kind of, I guess, ties together. I am from Lake County. I grew up in Gurnee, so I went to Gurnee schools. I'm very familiar with the area. I have family that is from Zion, so I'm very familiar with this entire Lake County area. Prior to working at Beach Park, so like you said, kind of how we met, it's funny. And it feels definitely like full circle. I did make a TikTok about this, actually. talking about how full circle last year felt for me. So obviously before working here, I knew I wanted to get my foot in education. Education is just something that I have a deep passion for. And prior to working for Beach Park School District, I worked and still do to this day, work for United Way of Lake County. So a nonprofit organization here in Lake County that targets a lot of people in the area. And I was working for Kindergarten Countdown Camp at the time, and I was at the Beach Park site. And I remember I was working alongside Kristen Lindstrom,
Yep.
who she used to work here
Yep.
in the district.
Yep.
And she let me know that her para was retiring that school year and that there was an opening at the school that she worked at. And I fully took advantage of that. I was like, okay, girl, let me in on whatever I need to do. I will be there. Whoever I need to talk to, just please hook me up and get me in there. And somehow you ended up showing up. You went to our campsite. You were like, okay, cool, let's do this. And it was a very chill interview that we had. You just pulled me aside. We went to a classroom and we just basically talked, the three of us. And then within a few weeks, you had given me a call back and said, hey, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's do this. Come in, sign some paperwork. You got it. And actually, what's funny, and I tell some people this too, where it's like I had initially applied for SPED resource, but then you also gave me a call back and said, hey, I know you are bilingual and we actually have an opening for our EL department. And I think you would probably be a better fit for that. And I said, perfect. Sign me up. I'm there.
Yeah.
So it definitely, so with last year feeling very special for me was that all of those fifth grade students I had were actually in the kindergarten countdown camp program prior to like that same year. So it felt like full circle for me. And I think it justified really like the reason why I'm here and the reason why I'm choosing this as my career path. So yeah, like it felt very good last year. And then I'm following a very unconventional way of school. I'm still currently enrolled in an online program to ultimately get my bachelor's degree and hopefully have a classroom of my own.
I have absolutely no doubt, like no doubt that you will clearly achieve that goal. Yeah, that's going back. That's going back a ways, and maybe what the audience doesn't know is I was the principal at the time of
Yes.
Kenneth Murphy, and yeah, Miss Lindstrom was your biggest fan, and she was really like, "Yo, you have to meet this person. It's such an opportunity. She's just absolutely great." So I know as a principal, I will tell you right now, working with you side by side with you, you put it all in. I mean, it's 100%. You go 100, and you're such an advocate for kids, and not that other people don't, but you in particular. If there's a task, you're going to be successful. You're going to conquer that. So I'm grateful for you years later. I'm grateful that the district has an opportunity to have staff like you for sure. And I mean, you go from that day to now you're a co-union president of our district is like, what an origin story. And I just like, it's not even over. You're going to be all the way. I mean, all the way. So that is so cool. Super, super proud of you for that. Was there a subject or a teacher from your past that shaped you? Because you were working with kids at the United Way. Now you're working education in Beach Park District 3. Like, what is it? Is there something that inspires you about children? Something stick with you as a young adult, as a child?
I always love to hear other teachers share that they had this one teacher in third grade that was like their favorite teacher or a certain subject, but I sadly don't feel like I had that. But I think overall, I just always enjoyed going to school. Like, even though I can't like pinpoint a specific teacher that I had a good relationship with. I mean, all my teachers were phenomenal. And I always joke with my fiance and I'm like, I still know the names of every single one of my teachers I had from preschool to I think fifth grade. It stops at fifth grade, but I don't have anyone specifically that stuck out to me. But I think, like I said, overall I've always enjoyed school. I've always loved being at school, going to school. And I just think that is probably my biggest inspiration is just wanting to always be in school, I guess.
Yeah.
And then also, I like to say it's in my DNA, it's in my blood, because I actually have an aunt and my grandpa on my dad's side that both of them followed a teacher's career path where they were a school teacher, then they continued and became a principal, and then they continued and became the superintendent in their area. So I like to say it's in my DNA. That's why I'm choosing this path. It's like I have to, I have to. I'm destined to grow in education and just be here. So
Yeah, I think that resonates, right? Like, I'm much like you. I didn't have like a standout moment in education. In fact, I kind of found education as a second career, and I'm so glad that's kind of the way the universe just put me in this place where I was in education and absolutely fell in love with it. Education is so unique, and
mhm.
there are so many well-rounded people in education. It's not all students who went to college to be teachers, but people are finding their way into education, and they're leaders. So I heard you say you had a grandpa that was a principal. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
both my grandpa and my aunt, they
okay.
both went through very similar paths.
All right. The only reason I bring it up again is because I look forward to having you be a principal in our district as you put your years in, because I think that this union leadership is going to be a great way to mold what you're doing now, what you've done for years. You'll be in the classroom. I'll see you in your principal's office years from now. I'm confident of that. Side note, I also heard you say that you were engaged. So I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Super awesome. How long have you been
I know.
engaged for?
Almost 1 year, which is actually so crazy. We've been talking about that because we're coming up on December, and I got engaged towards the end of December, but I feel like I just engaged like 2 months ago. Like, it does not feel like a whole year has already passed, but it's been 1 year. But
I just wanted to say congratulations to you. I didn't want to miss the opportunity. So we'll get back on task. I know you've
yes.
done a ton of great work because I've been there to witness it. What is something you're doing right now?
So we have some awesome curriculum that was introduced to us last year, and it touches on a bunch of different things. We actually had one of our instructional coaches help us link the current curriculum HMH to the curriculum that we have for EL, make sure that we're working alongside supporting the students in their classroom. We just touched on like US history, I'm not sure, in HMH. And there was actually one person who really stuck out to me that I'm so grateful that the teachers that I work with give me the opportunities to be very creative and just come up with things. There was a person that we were reading about. Her name is Huda Isa, and she wrote a book that is called Teach Us Your Name. So I created an activity that kind of goes with it, just because I feel like it's so important, especially working in EL, to advocate for students in whatever ways it is, especially with how to pronounce their names. I think even from personal experience, it might not seem like a big deal to others, but maybe sometimes kids are not as receptive. Like, they're not going to correct you. They're not going to tell you, like, that's wrong. Don't say that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's so important to teach our kids to be advocates for themselves and stand up for themselves. And so this project was to introduce like how their name is maybe spelt out and written, but actually how their name is pronounced. So we have a bulletin board out in our hallway that a lot of students and staff actually walk past. So it's something that I'm hoping that people are taking the time to look and try to find whether they find their student's name and practice it, because I think it's something so important. Like I said, kids are very quiet, and we have a student who actually had spent 2 years with people not saying her name correctly, and she never corrected them.
Wow.
She's not going to. And it's interesting to hear even students are like, well, she says I can call her that. And it's like, I'm glad. And I understand that she's letting you call her that, but I want to let you know that that's not their name. Their name is something else totally different than what you're saying.
Way to be an
Um,
advocate. Yeah, that's
so
advocacy.
yeah, so definitely working on a lot of advocacy. I think kind of circling back to talking about why I choose education, I think it's important for myself too to be a good reflection of my students. I never had any teachers that looked like me growing up. So I definitely am in it for the representation. I want to be somebody that my kids can be like, hey, I remember having a Hispanic teacher growing up, and hopefully that can influence them in life and influence their career choices too, thinking that I can be like Miss G because I've had a Miss G in my life. So 100% things that I always work on a lot with our kids is advocacy.
So powerful. That's
Some deep stuff.
it's deep, but I mean it's the reality. And I mean I couldn't. I think some of the beauty of doing this podcast is more about just our community getting to know one another, and like It's not scripted, but like the person is unique. You're so unique, and that I think everyone could resonate with what you just said. And every kid needs that. Every kid needs a Miss G in education. And so that's happening now. You're doing it. You just shared the story where it's being done. So thank you for that. What do you love most about education?
Honestly, I think going back to the last part, just representation and relationship. I think building a good rapport with students is so important, especially in today's climate. I mean, it's so important to be a safe space for kids and just being there for them. I love all the relationships I've built with my kids. I'm glad that for a lot of my students, I'm a safe space for them to share everything under the sun about. There are so many things that I think is so funny that kids like to share. And I'm glad I could be that person to lend a listening ear and be like, yeah, absolutely. Tell me about your horses. Tell me about your whatever it is. But yeah, definitely representation and relationship.
Awesome. That was like three questions in one answer. So
Perfect.
yeah, yeah. It's how it organically ends up happening. Um, Culture. Uh, it's important. It's very important. And you and I have walked together for quite a few years, and you're
Hmm.
building this culture in the many different roles clearly that you're doing. And I'm trying to work from a director of human resource place to continue to grow that. This podcast is about that. So we pride ourselves on culture and creating a culture. In your own words, what do you think is the best part of being a team, in particular at Kenneth Murphy Elementary?
So, what I love about KM truly is how everyone has something valuable about them. And everyone is so open and willing to sharing those values with you. Like, if there was anything, if I ever had a question about something totally unrelated to a part of my job or my career, someone is always there to answer and help and guide you. That's what I love about KM. It definitely feels like a family here. Like I said, it's so nice to feel very comfortable to literally approach anybody with any sort of question.
It's awesome.
And same with, I mean, working in Beach Park, I think now with my role as the union president for our TAs, it's also really helped me build a relationship with district office too. It's definitely interesting to just get a clearer perspective on how things are run back there. I think maybe it seems a little intimidating, but it's really not. Like, I think I'm learning that it's really not that scary. I mean, even as a kid too, I feel like I would never see my superintendent. I would never see my principal or anything. And I feel like this district does a really good job at pushing that and being visible. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy working in Beach Park and at KM.
Yeah, we have like the philosophy for through our leadership. I clearly had the unique opportunity to be your principal,
Hmm.
and but now in the district office, you definitely get to see behind the curtain, given your current position. But there is a philosophy here that's very much like we all have work to do. It's all kind of the same job with a different role, and the only real difference is the title, which just kind of aligns us to in Beach Park. Everyone's assigned to a specific task, but we are all equal because the job
Yeah.
just doesn't get done without each important person that's filling the gap, right? So it's like I'm not confident who said it, but it's like if you and I know you've heard me say it. If you've seen farther, it's because you stood on the shoulders of giants, and we're all giants, and we're all standing on each other's shoulders. So I can respect and appreciate that. What is the single factor that makes you choose to stay and grow here in Beach Park?
Like I said, I think it's my team 100%. They're phenomenal people to work with. So major shout out to Cindy Hansen and Hector Ramos. I really appreciate them. I think they are phenomenal people. They do great work. So they definitely make it very easy for me to stay because I truly can't imagine myself working with other people.
Yeah.
They're just so great. And I have so much respect for them. So yeah, them and our kids, honestly, the kids I see every day, they're amazing. And I just want to keep watching them grow because they're just rock stars.
You just gave a quick shout out to Cindy Hansen, Hector Ramos. Is there a specific colleague in the district outside of the two of them that inspires you and makes your job easier every day?
Well, I know we mentioned her earlier, Christy Seiden, 100%. I'm so thankful for her for working with me and being a great partner in our union. I don't think I could do anything without her. She's just always there. She's very supportive. And then on to that too, I would say Carrie Ledman also is very great to work with. She's also the union president for the teachers. So she's also a great person to talk to about union related things just because she understands. And then shout out to Shelly Lawson at Oakcrest. I know she's not at my building, but I do want to give a shout out to Shelly Lawson. She's very new to her leadership position as a union rep for Oakcrest, and she's doing amazing. And I'm so thankful for her. I mean, she's just great. I mean, I have no other words for her, but she's doing amazing, and I hope she knows that.
Thank you for sharing that. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them all on this podcast, and our whole audience is gonna
Please.
get to know everybody that you've listened to. So, um, I'm gonna work on that for sure. Quick fire questions. Get to know you outside of
Yes.
work. If you weren't a teacher,
Yes.
what would be your dream job?
Probably an influencer or an actress.
So, since we're on it, let's use this opportunity right now. Do you want to drop any of your social media stuff for people to follow you? Is this the moment? Do you have like a hashtag? You got your @ sign? Like, what do people
I'm
look up if they want
scared.
to follow the things you're doing?
Well, if anyone is interested, my handle on TikTok is hamster girl. Hamster girl. The E in hamster is the number 3.
Okay. Yo, I mean, I love that. That is awesome. What gets you through the day? What's your energy boost? Is it a drink? Is it something to snack? Is it a
It
walk, a run?
is a run. That would be nice. No, no. I honestly, I'm trying to have running be a hobby of mine. And whenever I tell people that, they think I'm absolutely crazy. But I don't know. I want to try it.
All right.
But my go-to energy drinks are for sure a nice Diet Coke and a nice ice cold matcha latte.
All right. How about a hobby or talent outside of school? Anything that you want people to know? What do you do when we're not around?
I love to read, actually. Read a lot over the summer. My goal was to have at least 20 books read before the end of the year. I did have to pause because the school year is a little crazy, but I stopped at 15. So I was
That's
pretty
good.
close. I
15.
was
That's
pretty close
good.
to my goal. Yeah.
All right. Binge watching. You currently binge watching anything? Getting in the way of your book reading?
I know, right? Actually, there's a new show with Kim Kardashian called All's Fair. I don't know. She plays a lawyer. I've been obsessed with it. So that's what I've been watching.
All right. Best concert you've ever seen?
Metallica. So I think that's
Whoa.
something that people would look at me and wouldn't think I know what Metallica is, but I know who they are. I've been to 2 concerts now.
Love that. Dr. Wilcox, our superintendent at the beginning of the year, asked us to submit our walk-up song for our Institute Day. Song you'd want to play if you walked into a room. What song should play? Oh, Stephanie Guadarrama's here. And then the music starts playing. What is it?
I'm going to say Bitty Bitty Bum Bum by Selena.
Okay. All right. Awesome. This is like your range is phenomenal.
I know.
I'm totally digging this. Okay. We spent quite a bit of time. Like, that was so awesome. Like, so awesome. Thank you for all of that time that you spent with me. So just by doing exactly what I just said, thank you so much for sharing your passion, the insights with us. Obviously, it's clear that you're committed to Beach Park District 3. You not only are a paraprofessional, you are a leader in your union. And I know that you're busy with that because people need a place to better understand the context for which they're functioning in. And that's a heavy lift. There is absolutely no question about that. So thank you for being dedicated. Thank you for working in our district. Thank you for taking a chance on Beach Park District 3 and sitting with me so many years ago, and for having the courage to do this right here. And I'm hoping that it kind of breaks the seal and starts putting Beach Park on the map. And we, as just a family and a collective community, really do get to know each other as a staff. I would encourage anyone looking at Beach Park District 3, become part of our family, give us an opportunity. I know you'll love it. You can find all of our open positions on bpd3.org. We would love to have you become part of our family. If, in fact, you currently are a family member of Beach Park, your work does not go unnoticed. We are grateful for you. Your coworkers are grateful. Your district is grateful. Your superintendent is grateful. Thank you for everything that you do for our kids, our staff, our community, the stakeholders that we have. My favorite line is thank you so much for being you, and for tuning in to this podcast, Beyond the Bell. Look for us on all the cool things, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. We'll be dropping hooks, social media posts. On Monday, we'll drop this entire episode, and we'll have some secret drops maybe once a month with some bigger episodes. But anything on the way out, Stephanie, you'd like to share with the audience? Or
Just thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Like I said at the very beginning, I'm so excited to see this grow and see what comes from it.
You are the absolute best. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.